Okay, so when I was going through, discovering my faith and taking back my religion and stuff, I was like, all right, I need a quick fix to all my problems. What's it gonna be? Oh, my aunts are wearing hijab. I'm gonna wear one too. So, actually, I did wear hijab for 10 months of my life when I began my freshman year. I wore it, not understanding why it's necessary, not appreciating the beauty behind it, not understanding any of those messages that is conveyed by the hijab. Guilt was my motivation. I don't think guilt should ever be anyone's motivation to do anything. I think it should be love. Love for your religion, respect for your religion, love for God. He's our creator. He's the one we're going to go back to. He's the one who brought us here and blesses us with all the things around us. So it definitely wasn't love. It was guilt. So I'll tell you a part of what I went through while I was wearing it and why obviously I choose not to wear it anymore. But before that, can everyone just kind of raise your hands if you're a man or if you're a woman and you've ever felt pressurized by society or the media to act or look a certain way? Raise your hand if you've ever felt that way. All right, look around. It's quite a bit of people, I would say. All right, now raise your hands if you've ever felt like, or you constantly do feel like you won't be accepted in society because you don't fit the typical gender role that's laid out for you by society. Raise your hand if you feel that way. Okay, still quite a bit of people. So as a woman, I think that we've grown up in this culture where it's really necessary to look a certain way in order to be accepted in society, and that's the only thing these days that is defining our self-worth, and it defines our values. And really, you get this from everything around us, from advertisement, from video games, from the media, right? And it seems like no matter what a woman does or achieves, like the value still unfortunately depends on how she looks. And it's really this culture of insecurity, and that's exactly what my struggle was. When I was wearing it, it still is my struggle, and I mean, call me weak, but I'm admitting to it, It's definitely a flaw that I'm working on, but when I wore it, I think I only loved and appreciated it for about the first 2 months, and then the next 8 months, really, it was fear of people. Like, who are people to me? Like, I mean, they're my friends and stuff, but like, who really, when in comparison to God, like, who are people? And so the next 8 months when I wore it, it was only to please people. It was, oh my gosh, if I take it off now, people are gonna talk crap about me. If I take it off now, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, this person's gonna think badly of me, the mosque is gonna call me names, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. So then the intention really wasn't for God anymore, as it was the first 2 months I wore it. And I realized, it was a step that I had taken too quickly, because you have to understand the background that I came from, as I explained earlier. You have to understand what I went through, and then all of a sudden, just this thing that I thought would magically, help and fix all of my problems, which is why I wore it. So, I mean, it is a struggle. It was a struggle wearing it. It is a struggle now not wearing it because I want to. I understand the necessity of it, but it's like, I'm still working on practicing my faith, and I'm still working on understanding why exactly it is necessary. So, yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. So now I'm taking baby steps. I said that I, showed some of my skin earlier in high school, and so baby steps would be, to show less of it now, which is exactly what I'm doing. Continuing to learn a lot about my religion, still doing that, and you know what? Hopefully one day, I'm gonna get there. If it is in my faith, to get there and to wear the hijab one day, I have complete faith in God that that's gonna happen, and that He's gonna guide me, and that even if I don't wear it, doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean I'm not a Muslim. It doesn't mean that I don't have modesty, because I think I encompass all of those things. I mean, I think my modesty is in my behavior, it's in my actions, it's in my words, it's in how I carry myself and how I portray my religion to other people. So I do think I still am modest. And one day, like I said, I will reach that final destination. So it's kind of why I did wear it and don't wear it anymore, but will wear it one day. Inshallah, God willing.
Last question, and we're starting now. Natasha, can you start with this question? Okay, the question is, what does hijab mean to you?
No, please. You can start. You can modesty hijab.
No, I'm not ready.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's see. So I kind of explained that when I ended my spiel earlier, but so what it really boils down to at the end of the day is hijab, right? The word hijab in Arabic, I'm pretty sure it does not mean the headscarf specifically. It means modesty and privacy, and it means morality. The word himar in Arabic, that is the headscarf or the veil. And like I said, like despite me not wearing it, you know, I'm still an individual working every day constantly towards improving my character, towards embodying other aspects of my religion other than praying and fasting. I mean, still doing all of that too, but at the same time, you know, being kind to my parents, picking up trash if I see some, you know, just being a good citizen in this community, spreading my religion through my words. I think that when you ask people that do wear hijab questions like, oh, you know, how do people treat you, knowing that there is this outward expression of your religion on top of your head in the form of a headscarf, I think that whatever they tell you, I would be able to echo the same exact things. Like, you know, now, you know, being in all these different circles here at UCI, like obviously there's a lot of interaction with men, obviously. But they all know, even though I don't wear the headscarf, like they all know that, you know, Natasha doesn't go to clubs, Natasha doesn't, you know, she doesn't drink, she doesn't do drugs, she is not very like moochie with like guys or whatever, like she doesn't do all these things, but I think that's really great for me because it gives me the opportunity to really express like my religion and really talk, like have dialogues with people that aren't Muslim and that ask me like, oh, well, you don't look like this other Muslim who does wear the headscarf. But so without the headscarf, I'm given the opportunity of really challenging myself that way in going forward and going above and beyond and saying like, look, this is my religion, this is what I believe, this is why I believe in it, and nothing that you can say or do is really going to change my belief in Allah, right? Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, I don't think God is going to judge me on whether or not I wear the hijab, knowing that it's necessary, knowing that I'm working towards it, and trying to fully understand and grasp what it means. But at the end of the day, really, like, I think I'm going to be judged more on my heart and what I've done for society and what I've done in order to gain closeness to Allah. And in our religion, like, struggles are actually a really good thing, you know, because when you struggle is when you really seek help and you try to get a closer relationship with your Creator, versus if you were given everything and anything in the world that you could possibly want, do you really think that you would turn to your Lord and be like, I need help, or thank you? Like, I think oftentimes we, as human beings, we are always forgetting to say thank you. Always, you know, when we have everything, we don't need to ask anyone for help, but there's a beauty in struggling and turning to your Lord to ask for help, because really at the end of the day, like, He's the only one that will be able to help you. So it's really all about your intentions. You know, I always go back to that. I don't wear it. I do have the intention of one day wearing it. I ask God every day to guide me, you know, set me on the straight path. And He's all forgiving. He's all merciful. He loves us 70 times more than our own mothers who birthed us, who carried us in her womb for months. He loves us more than that. And so, you know, I think that, you know, we'll all be forgiven, and whether I end up wearing it or not, we'll see. I mean, the hope is I will. So what's important, or what's more important than what's on your head, is really what's inside of it. So.
So the question was, what does it mean to you, right? I'm going to ignore that and say, just say some things that I think I need to say. So I just want to say that hijab, it really annoys me when people say that we wear it so that other people respect us for our character. And I'm not saying it annoys me because that's something that's wrong necessarily, but you're kind of missing a crucial step in between, which is, and I think, you said it in your beautiful spoken word, that it's a gift for the person who wears it, even more than those around her. So really, hijab for me was something that I learned only after wearing it, was that me coming into this room with this on doesn't necessarily, this alone necessarily make you respect me for my character or respect me for my morality and all my intelligence and all these things. But if by wearing this I learn to respect myself for those things, then that is what you will respect me for. Because, oh, thank you. Because other people are going to respect you and see in you what you see in yourself. So something that is so emphasized, I think, in society today is, which is very important, is that girls have self-esteem and that girls respect themselves and value themselves. But what we don't look at is what is the source of your self-esteem and what is the source of your self-respect. And if that is rooted in other people's approval, then it's going to be weak. It's going to lead you down a path that you don't necessarily want to go down. And that's what I found out by wearing the hijab. What else did I want to say? Sorry. So it's not a protection from, it's not. Okay, I got that point across. It means to me that I'm struggling to be better. Okay, I may not be successful in every aspect of being better, but I'm struggling, and this is one way I'm struggling, right? That this is one aspect of it. And in order to, struggling to value myself for the right reasons, struggling to be better, be more humble, be more, practice other, because I started wearing this before I prayed 5 times a day. And praying 5 times a day in Islam is like so essential. So it was, it's mind-boggling to some people that, oh, I was such a bad Muslim that I was wearing hijab. But I said I need to move forward. And this was one way I felt like I could move forward, and it helped me with all those other things. So that's another thing that it means for me. And it also means that I'm part of a larger community. And not just a larger community in terms of Muslims, right? Like people know I'm Muslim and they say salam and it makes me excited. But also a larger community of women and individuals with these values. That I'm part of that community and I want to be part of that community of people who value more than what is external. So all of you are part of that community, I hope. I mean, just the fact that you came here today. And I'm struggling and hopefully succeeding sometimes in embodying those values. So that's all. Thank you.
I'm going to modify the question, if anything. The question was, what does hijab mean to me? But I'm going to modify it to what has the hijab taught me? And the hijab has taught me that people are genuinely, it is human nature to be kind. And it's kind of weird that I'm connecting these two things, but I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, believe that it is human nature to be kind. That no one's gonna deny that Islamophobia is on the rise and people are afraid of Muslims and when you wear hijab, people look at you differently. I mean, I'm sure when you guys are going to be sharing your experiences, you're going to notice that people kind of look at you a little funny, and these are all things that that happen when you wear the hijab. But another thing, if you wear it for a prolonged period of time, you notice that people are it gives them it's for 5 minutes it's awkward and it's okay flip on your head, there's that tension and stuff. But you give them 5 minutes and you break out of your shell, and you act like yourself, and people accept you. Honestly, people are genuinely kind, and there are very few people that, at least in my experience, that are not. And if they're not, that's because they have issues stuff going on, had a bad day, and stuff like that. But my experience with hijab, people have been they come up to me at the grocery store and they're like, what a beautiful headscarf you have. So it's honestly, people are curious, and it's very natural to be curious, and it's very natural to ask questions and stuff.